All right, I'm here with my friend, client, and teammate from Legion AJJ, Tristan. How do you pronounce your last name, by the way?
Mangindin.
Mangindin.
Yes.
Cool. Uh, I know that struggle having the last name of Deirmendjian. So same
Yeah.
number of syllables, in fact. But it's probably a struggle for both of us in elementary school, right? But anyways, Tristan, we have been working together on a 6 month coaching program, strength training coaching program that's been 99% remote. We obviously met at Legion. You expressed a desire to start coaching with me to get your strength in order. What was it that prompted you to approach me and say, hey, I want to talk to you about getting some coaching?
I competed in a tournament about a month and a half ago, and it was identified that I'm a yoga teacher and I have great isometric strength from doing all this body work, mindful movement, but having that explosive strength at competition level and competition speed was something that I needed to work on. And we had talked and we had rolled before, and I had seen your testimonials on Instagram, seeing them with the first responders and martial artists as well that trained. So seeing that it was practical across multiple like disciplines was something that called out to me. But I did know that I needed to do something on the strength training end, and I think your program was the first one that really kind of called to me.
Cool. Okay. And so you've never worked with like a strength and conditioning coach before us starting this, yeah?
Yeah. I'd gone to the gym, times before, but it was mostly isolated workouts, like with dumbbells. Before we started working together, I had never picked up a barbell before, never did a barbell deadlift, barbell squat, bench press, overhead press. So I was actually excited to see like what my baseline to start would be. But yeah, and going to the gym to pick something up and put it down was more aesthetic to me. And because I was doing so much yoga, I never really thought about it from a functional point of view. I thought it was just, like to grow your muscles and like look great in a t-shirt, have a great chest and everything. So I feel like seeing your program was a way for I could see like, okay, I saw how this was functional to what I was doing, not with jiu-jitsu, but with everything I was doing.
Oh, sweet. Okay. And so we're 1 month in. We just did a retest the other day on your barbell lifts. Um, and again, this is a 6 month program. What have your results been like so far on the base of that retest?
I really am amazed where I've come just in this 1 month. Are my deadlift single rep personal best is 275, and I just never thought. I mean, having never done it before, never thought that just this far into it, that's where I'd be to start. And just referencing that across, where I see other people who love doing, this type of stuff, it's really given me a lot of confidence of where it's going to go from here. And seeing how it's improved all the other things I do off the mat too. I can't wait to see how it's going to apply to those things 3 months from now, 6 months from now.
Awesome. Okay. And so you said off the mats and on the mats. Let's talk about like, and so we actually had a double at 275 on the deadlift the other day. You weigh 165 pounds, so that's really good, like relative strength already, like you mentioned. When you started though, we were probably I think you repped like 185 for like 5 reps. So if we calculate that out, and we just see what your theoretical 1 rep max would have been, right? Plus 185. So basically, we've gone from like a 215 pound 1 rep max deadlift to like a 290, 295. And granted, a lot of this is learning the skill, right? Because you're so fresh to it, right? But that change alone, like, how has that showed up for you in terms of your results so far, both on the, just let's start with on the mats. Like, how has that felt? Like, what differences do you notice?
The first thing that really stood out was my base. When I'm standing and the bottom guy is in a leg entanglement and they're trying to grab my grip. Um, One of my biggest areas of improvement for so long was being able to, you know, post and not just get swept or gets taken down so easily. And it's really helped me able to like compact everything, build from the ground up and break those grips. Another area of improvement that I needed to work on. And I'm able to stay and slow things down and able to get into the grips and positions that let me pass guard and to move on into side control. And I was already deceptively strong, apparently, according to our teammates before this program. So I can already feel their when I am getting them like in like a mount or in a side control or I'm doing like that shoulder pressure. They even said like it's gotten even stronger.
Sweet. Okay. So first thing is now from top you can break connections
Yeah,
with more ease. The second thing is it sounds like you can put a lot more pressure on people using your hips and your legs and your core and all that stuff. So
yeah.
and that's great, right? Because by the end of 6 months, right, obviously those numbers will be a lot higher, right? So we're just getting warmed up, almost quite literally, off the mats. What differences have you seen?
When you're practicing and teaching yoga, there really is an emphasis on core engagement, being grounded from the legs down and then lengthened up. And doing these same movements, it's really helped my posture. And when I was doing especially a deadlift at the gym, it's the same movement as a Ardha Uttanasana or halfway lift. So it's really given me a lot of practice engaging everything, locking my hips, locking my core, locking my lats, and seeing where I am dumping weight and I'm ignoring that activation. And it's helping me practice yoga better. And it's helping me demo better. And I'm also a massage therapist, and a lot of your effectiveness, especially with deep tissue, actually isn't from your upper body, it's from your lunge. And being able to come from the bottom and find that drag into the muscle tissue, I've actually had to back off with my pressure because I got a complaint that it was a little bit too heavy. So I had to basically reassess my deep tissue effectiveness, but in a good way. So it's actually made my job easier because I don't have to put so much force with my body, and it really is just body mechanics.
For sure, and I love that because that's what I preach to everybody about, like strength training and jujitsu as well. Is like, in order for you to make your technique effortless, it pays to be as strong as possible. To be honest, right? There's no upper limit on how strong, how much benefit, how the benefit you'll get to being stronger. So it sounds like you can go into massage sessions and not get worn out as quickly. Is that about
Yeah,
the size of it?
yeah. And also with jujitsu, I used to weigh 80 pounds heavier, so I'm very bottom heavy, and a lot of this has been kind of letting my upper body catch up. But from a functional point of view, building from the ground up, it's made my base even stronger to then leverage the change in my upper body even better so far. Hence, like
Cool.
being
Yeah.
able to break a grip and like posture up.
And I know we've also hit a milestone for you. You were able to do like maybe one pull up or chin up before we started, and now you can do like four after 1 month, pretty clean. Um, do you feel like you've noticed some changes from that, from gaining some strength there?
Yeah, definitely. I think I was again when I was doing that action, I was focusing on the wrong muscles and body parts, and I'm having to engage everything. I think that's improved both the form and then pave way for that strength to be able to do more reps.
Okay, sweet. Well, awesome, man. So again, we're just 1 month in. I know there's a lot of people out there who may be watching this, who may be thinking to themselves like, you know, is this something that I want to do? Is this something that I could use help with, whether it's with me or with another strength coach, um, maybe even people in your world, like in the yoga world, who are like, strength training is not for me, right? I do yoga and that's it. Granted, like even I will spend when I'm behaving myself, I'll spend 30 minutes an evening doing static stretches and holds and stuff like that, right? What would you say to these people who maybe are kind of on the fence or have their doubts, but are kind of looking over it and being like, is this something that would be good for me?
One thing I observed about the San Diego One thing I've observed about the San Diego yoga community is that yoga is the supplement to your thing. So, yoga to make you a better surfer, yoga to make you a better hiker, yoga to make you a better jiu-jitsu person, CrossFit person, and convincing them that strength training again will be applicable across multiple disciplines, and telling them that like you're an expert with mindful movement. As a massage therapist, I'm also an expert with recovery and self-care. But again, before this program, I was going to the gym, and I was really kind of going off what I saw on YouTube, what I Google, and I didn't have an expert there to show me what to do, and it really had limited returns, and I didn't know what was possible without an expert showing me, the proper methodology and the proper form. And from there, you can see how that strength will just play out day to day with everything you do outside of the gym and off your mat, whether that's yoga or jujitsu.
Awesome, man. Tristan, thanks so much for your time, dude. I will go ahead and stop it here.